Blair Zahn, aka Illuminaughtii on YouTube. First of all, very hard to spell name, also very hard to look at face. Um, yeah, so a lot of stuff has come out about her, as you've probably heard. It's all over. I'm the millionth person to talk about this, but this story has some personal significance to me because of reasons I'll get into in a bit. So, if you're not aware, Illuminaughtii is this YouTuber with about 1.2 million subscribers, and she is particularly well known for making video essays on topics like shitty corporations and pyramid schemes. Hell, her channel bio says a pyramid against pyramid schemes, which is going to be unbelievably ironic when I discuss it further. But and in fact, I was personally a fan of her content. I can't watch her now because even if the content is still good, I can't remove myself from the fact that she's such a shitty person. But I was a fan of the content for a little while, and then the the moment she flew too close to the sun was when she was criticizing this other YouTuber called Legal Eagle about a ridiculous claim that Legal Eagle was stealing her editing style. Let's get this out of the way. You can't even do that, really. No matter how good you are at editing, I'm sure there's someone out there who does it exactly the same as you and not intentionally. Like, stealing someone's clips is one thing, but stealing an editing style, it was like, I think it was over one specific transition that was used between both parties. The claim that he was trying to steal her editing style is just ridiculous, and everyone knows it's ridiculous, but that has, I mean, the fact that she called him out for that on Twitter like a baby was the godsend to all of us because it really had a lot of people come forward and reveal what a terrible person she is. So, um, I mean, where do I even begin? I guess the best case to start with is with another YouTuber named OzMedia. I'll link his video in the description if it's still up at the time of recording this. I haven't checked and I hope it's not deleted. Um, this is the part where I'm gonna personally relate. I'm gonna be less upbeat in this video because it genuinely makes me angry how terrible she is. So I'm gonna break down the video um, as simply as I can, but I'd highly recommend you go watch Oz's video on it because it's extremely informative. So Oz Media um, and Blair Illuminati, they were dating at one point, and it was an emotionally abusive relationship where Blair was manipulating Oz into thinking that he was the villain in the relationship whenever anything went wrong, um, trying to sucker him into essentially scams, like to put it very simply, like coercing him into signing documents using emotional leverage when he had no idea what he was agreeing to. One shot's example, which is why so much of this came forward, is that OzMedia has been much less financially secure than Blair in the past because she's made a lot of money off YouTube, and while they were dating, Oz had to borrow money from her at times. And instead of being a good partner and helping him out financially, she would add it to an amount of debt to be paid back eventually. And eventually, because she's so awful, she had Oz Media sign a document that essentially said, "Pay back the debt you owe me in however much time, or I'm going to foreclose on your home." I'm serious. Like, if you haven't heard of this, it's disgusting. It's what it sounds like. Like, I'm literally going because it was something about some loophole with her being on the mortgage or something. I believe I'm not totally clear on all the details there, but it was something legally that allowed her to kick Oz Media out of his own home.
What I can only describe as retaliation from the person who's my ex, former employer, and prior colleague, Blair is in the process of currently foreclosing my home. Because of this stress of Blair taking my home from me, I need to pump the brakes and change directions so I won't be homeless come Christmas. Because that's when Blair set my home to foreclose, right before Christmas. And yes, Blair has the power to set the foreclosure sale.
And it was because he owed her money, and I guess some other reasons that are just awful, where he was not in a good place, and she just wanted nothing to do with him, and kind of was going out of her way to ruin his life. And he also discusses how, like, for a long time, when they were still together, when they were still dating, um, she'd already moved on and just found someone else, and was just keeping Oz in the dark the entire time.
It wouldn't be until a few weeks after signing that document that I would learn that she had already moved on, and had almost everyone in my daily life keep this fact a secret from me.
I'm here to also just share personal experiences. I've had a very similar experience to this, extremely similar, strikingly, in the past year with a certain family member. And they have firmly made me believe that I'm the villain in our relationship, and have turned the rest of my family against me, and they don't talk to me anymore because this person is actively lying about me to the rest of my family, making me look like the bad guy with claims that are blatantly false. And once again, I can't remember. I can't. I'm sorry. I can't suggest Oz's video enough. Just please go watch it. It'll be linked in the description if I can find it. This is so heartbreaking to watch. Him, and no offense to the man, but like he looks like he's in tears. He looks like he's on the verge of tears recording his video, and I bet he is, because it's so emotionally heartbreaking. Because as he points out in his video, this person is supposed to be, like my other half, the person I can rely on and love, and just to be treated this way, to be treated like a tool for money, and this sick emotional manipulation for no reason other than just what I would assume to be a sort of God complex and desire for control over others, is sickening. It's something I have dealt with quite a bit in my time, and I am still on my road to recovery. And I really wish Oz the best with his situation. I know that he has received a tremendous amount of donations to help him legally, to pay for legal services to combat this in court. And yeah, and it's shocking because, like, remember James Charles, when all that stuff came out, when he had like the biggest ever recorded subscriber drop off, where he was like on top of the world in the makeup community, and then he just plummeted. I think he's back up now. Who cares? But it's kind of like that, where this person that, like I was a fan of her content, and it turns out she is a despicable person. She's awful. There's a lot more stuff about it, but the situation with Oz that I am summarizing extremely briefly, there's so much about it. Um, that's just the tip of the iceberg. Although I do believe it is the worst, but there's so many other things she's done to people just for what is really just a control issue, where I think she has to be in control or she loses everything, and that's all she's trying to grab onto as a person, because she's a pathetic little worm who takes control over other people for her own sick gain. And it is good though that something has happened where one thing I have been very surprised about is she has actually suffered consequences now, not legally but financially, tremendously so. She used to get, like, I don't know if she got like millions per video, but um she had a career out of this YouTube thing. Like she I'm sure she was living off it. She had no day job. I guarantee it, because like the amount of subscribers compared with the amount of views, I'm sure she was making a lot of money. She has 11,000 views on her latest video, and that was made 5 days ago. Now I could be wrong, but I believe that nets a YouTuber around $10, give or take. I think the conversion is around $1 to $2 per thousand views on YouTube, and that's really funny. That makes me smile. It's really good news, because looking at her social blade, she actually makes less than me per year. which is really funny. I make no money on YouTube. I mean, off my day job, and I don't make a lot of money. Um, I make more money off my day job than someone with 1.2 million subscribers on YouTube, which is really funny because she deserves it, and it's just also shocking because in so many cases in the past, people won't care about this sort of thing at all. Like there will still be a gigantic portion of people who will still pretend like nothing happened and keep watching, keep giving this person money, whether directly or through just watching their content. But people have actually banded together to say like "fuck Illuminati," and her channel is actively dying. And I think a lot of people are saying that she's probably going to go the route of just trying to start a second channel and start over from scratch and maybe use like an AI voice so people don't know it's her and try to get that back. And I don't disagree. I think it's entirely possible because her channel right now is just, yeah, it's not looking good, and she's getting basically no views, and that is just fantastic. It's really good to see an evil person like her actually receive some form of consequences for her actions because it's horrible. And I'm just happy it's not like Logan Paul after after he showed the dead body in the Japanese forest, and then he made the apology video, and then literally no one cared, and people just went on. Like people in the commentary community talked about it a lot, obviously, but his fans didn't care in the slightest. He's still making millions and millions of dollars. Blair, on the other hand, has just gotten to what's coming to her, and I'm sure that she will in the future in personal relationships and financial situations, and I would hope in the court of law because this is sickening behavior, and I strongly urge you to um, check out the videos I have in the description. Other than that, you have a good day.